So during a team meeting, your manager asks a question and others chime in immediately with half-formed ideas. You pause because you're organizing your thoughts, but by the time you're ready to speak, the topic has already changed. Story of my life. Later, your manager tells you that they want you to be more proactive. You feel misunderstood as disengaged when the reality is you were mentally mapping multiple variables and you didn't want to speak prematurely. I know I'm going to hear from so many of you in the comments about this experience because it's infuriating. It's like being misunderstood is so infuriating for autistic people. And it happens so often when we're trying to communicate our ideas and we just need a little bit longer. Here's a conversational example. So someone might share a vulnerable story with you and ask what you think. You pause, maybe look off to the side. You know, if you've been around for a while, I always look off, like, I guess my thoughts live in this corner. So I look off to the side. Nothing's over there but my thoughts. And maybe you don't respond right away. And they assume that you're judging or you just don't care, when the reality couldn't be further from the truth. While you're processing all that, they think that you've moved on to the next thing, or, you know, maybe that you didn't really process what they said, but really you're thinking, you know, how can I address this in an emotionally attuned way, right? And there's a lot of factors to consider. The next example is in a group hangout. So everyone's throwing out ideas about what movie to watch maybe, and you're thinking, which genre will overwhelm me the least? Will it be too loud or too bright? What if I say no to a horror film and they think I'm boring? I know this was me at like sleepovers when I was younger. Do I have the spoons to advocate for myself right now? That's a real question that I ask myself. And then if you hesitate, someone might say, oh, you're so quiet. Like, what's your opinion? Do you care? You weren't zoning out. You were just calculating safety and your interests, like what you had the capacity for in that moment. Okay, I love this example because this is me. Okay, if you want an insight into Taylor's brain. Next example is deciding where to sit in a new room. So you walk into a crowded workshop, everyone's grabbing seats, your brain is running through scripts, like, or not scripts, but questions. Where is the nearest exit? Will the fluorescent lights hit me if I'm sitting here? Will the chair squeak? Oh, that's a big one. Like if my chair squeaks, I do not like the attention that puts on me. So I want a non-squeaky chair. Am I too close to other people? Will I be expected to make small talk if I sit here? Will I look like a loner if I sit away from everybody? Will I be antisocial? But by the time you choose a spot, everyone else has settled, and maybe you feel shame because you feel like it took you too long to do just like a basic task that everybody else just seemed to know how to do naturally. That is